You open your eyes after waking from an afternoon nap to see this monster heading towards you. While initially you think you're dreaming, the sound, the smell, you realize it's real and your life is in danger. This was the grim reality for residents of Chandler, Minnesota. On June 16, 1992, storm systems had been building throughout the day, with predictions of possible tornadoes. A major spring storm began developing in the western United States over the weekend of June 13th and 14th, 1992. The storm ejected a minor upper air impulse across the northern plains on June 13th, triggering severe weather across the extreme northwest corner of South Dakota. Golf ball-sized hail and 10.5 inches of rain destroyed crops and killed over 500 sheep in Harding County, South Dakota. This event was a forewarning of the strength of the main storm, which still lurked over the western United States. At 5 p.m. on June 16th, a tornado would touch down northwest of Nobles County near Leota. It would smash into a two-house farmstead as it strengthened with Chandler in its sights. The monster tornado reached its greatest size and strength as it came over the hill immediately south of Chandler, plowing into the residential area of West Chandler at approximately 5:18 p.m. It would be at a width of 3/4 of a mile wide when it would start blendering residential houses on the southern side of the city at a maximum F5 strength. The twister would continue directly through the western side of Chandler, destroying more than 75 homes, with another 90 homes, 10 businesses, a church, and a school damaged. This would result in $50 million of property damage and more than 40 injuries and 1 fatality. The one fatality that occurred from this tornado was a woman that had been severely injured by a collapsing wall in her basement. After 2 months, she would eventually pass away as a result of the injuries sustained. Based on a detailed damage assessment by the National Weather Service, it's estimated this F5 tornado packed winds in excess of 260 miles per hour as it tore through the residential area of Chandler, Minnesota. Later assessment of the damage by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA, would conclude that there had actually been 2 violent twisters that caused the damage. However, they would classify them together as a collective F5 damage. Many people still dispute this claim, citing the video footage only showing a single tornado visible, and that it was possibly a multiple vortex tornado. This tornado was significant for many reasons, not just for its size and strength. This is the last F5 tornado to have hit Minnesota, being 33 years ago in 2025, a very long-standing record. It was also the only F5 tornado to occur in the United States in 1992. Later, it was found that dangerous pesticide containers had been dropped in surrounding farm areas, which were carried by the tornado and dropped into residential areas. The law of averages suggests that Minnesota could experience another F5 tornado sometime very soon. Will it impact a major city next time? We certainly hope not, but Mother Nature will always show she is ultimately in charge.
Come on, baby, keep going north.
It's going about heading right towards the post
town.
out that way. Yeah.
Huh?
You know, kind of towards the post a little bit and towards town.
I don't know where it's heading, but it's the outside of it is hitting us. I hope that's all that hits us. Ooh, this is pretty bad, though. We better go down base. No, that's bad.
Getting
That's
bigger.
real bad. Look at the stuff up in there.
Yep.
Swirling around up in there.
It's getting bigger.
Please don't come here. Oh, holy cow. Holy cow. That ain't very far away at all.
Fascinated residents, not realizing the danger, videotaped the monster.
What if it goes this way? It will, Ivan. It looks like it's headed right for us. It was
the most powerful, with winds estimated at more than 260 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour winds blew her from...
I just said, my God.
The Twister is an F5. I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori. It soon grows to nearly a mile wide.
Probably dropped out of the sky and hit the ground.
And the F5 tornado isn't finished. It chews its way north through corn and bean fields, and
Just
within seconds, the black mass is almost on top of the truck.
we drive right past my.
The wind bucks furiously against Al's fire.
all the way down into Nebraska.
This is what it looked like just as we were going into town. It was starting to storm again, as many storms went through the area that night. We saw a big lightning strike, went over the hill, and this is what we saw, was that it had started on fire. And obviously, this is much earlier than the other video. This is what the skies were looking like as the night progressed. It started getting darker, and the lightning started getting more and more intense. This was a little bit, I suppose around 9 o'clock, I would guess. And as I said, there were many storms that moved through the region. One of the things that Kevin mentioned is that he had never seen lightning like that. I told him I'd only seen lightning like that one other time, and that was during the Rapid City flood.
You lived in Rapid City.
Yes, I did, and went through that. So the lightning was similar to that. Obviously, the situation was very different, however.
The destruction is just undescribable. All day, people were just saying it's unbelievable. They're almost numb from it. Here's more cleanup of the mayor's house. They're just going through everything. Things that are broken, they're just picking them up because, as Judy Gilbertson told me, when you have nothing, you pick up everything.
We waited out in the driveway to get out of the house. We got 6 kitchen chairs out that our boys give us a couple years ago for our anniversary, which is the 22nd of June. That's what we got out. And the clothes on our backs.
The Parkers, like most here, are not insured for flood damage. The waters left people all over town trying to salvage family pictures and memories.
No life, that's the main thing. Could be worse.
Governor Mickelson spent most of the day touring the area by air and land, along with other areas hit hard by tornadoes. Mickelson says relief is on the way.
At least the people around this office think that this is the biggest one that they've seen, biggest organized system that they've seen for about 10 years or more, maybe a decade.
To put it into perspective, Karine says a winter storm of this strength would have dropped 3 feet of snow, not to mention the blowing and drifting. But describing this storm is one thing. Explaining its origin is quite another.
El Nino may have something to do with it. I'm not an El Nino fan, so I really don't know, to tell you the truth. But basically we had one very organized, large system that is very intense for this time of year come in the West Coast, and we saw it come in the West Coast, and we've been following it for several days. But you need several ingredients to come together to end up with storms like this, and we weren't sure if they're all going to come together, but yesterday morning early it started to look like, yep, here it comes.
This video was suggested to us in the comments. Let us know if there is a rare or often unheard of tornado that you would like us to cover.